something down in there?
All right, welcome to I'll Take the Over podcast right here on the Boot Hill Sports Network. I'm your host, Mark Manley. There's Johnny Grissom, special guest, Kenny Corley, Doug Edwards, and JB, who is tied up with Doug for first tonight. We all are. We're all in first tonight, babies. We started a new season off. What's going on, fellas?
How are you guys?
Man, getting excited
All
about
good.
bowl season.
Bowl
So,
season.
How
yes,
about
sir.
the ending to that Army Navy game?
Wow.
Man,
Well
caused
done.
me to lose second place by a foot, Doug. You lucky son of a gun.
One
Hey,
foot
I
in the
just pick
face.
winners. All I do is pick winners, baby.
That's all you do, huh?
That's right.
Well, you didn't pick enough to win the regular season. Josh did.
Well, I widened that gap from second though to third.
Shoot,
Wow,
I'm
that's
Yeah,
something to be real proud
yeah, you did. Got that extra 10. Hey, guys, the first thing we're going to talk about is the Heisman Trophy
of.
that was announced. J.J. McCarthy came in 10th. Blake Corum at 9th. Mizzou's Cody Schrader at 8. Ollie Gordon, number 7. Jaden Milrow at 6. Jordan Travis, Kenny's boy, come in
With
at
one
5
With
with
leg.
one leg. He come in a hopping, guys. Marvin Harrison Jr. the 4 at number 4. Bo Nix at 3rd. Penix Jr. at 2. And LSU's quarterback, Mr. Jaden Daniels, is your Heisman Trophy winner with
Right.
3,812
Tiger.
yards, 40 touchdowns on the year, and only 4 INTs for a QBR of 95.7.
Hey,
Thoughts
Doug,
on the Heisman Trophy, guys? Go ahead,
real
Johnny.
stop. No,
That,
no,
Uh-oh.
Doug,
Doug,
don't lie. I mean, he
Hold on,
deserved
stop.
it. I mean, I think they did the right thing picking him, voting
God
him.
Almighty, are you drunk already?
Maybe. What? I don't understand. I don't understand why you. What? I guess you're a Bo Nix fan.
I can't
Go ahead, Doug.
The right
No.
guy won it. The stats clearly showed it. It's for the most outstanding player. He was the most outstanding player. He was the most fun to watch. He put
Oh,
up
my-
the numbers. Your little win-loss record doesn't matter because he doesn't play defense. Lamar Jackson, several of them won it with 3-4 losses. The right guy won it. He also was 50 touchdowns accounted for first in all of college football. 8.4 yards per carry first in all of college football. That's running back, quarterback, any back. He led college football in, I think, 5 different categories.
Well, by God, why didn't y'all put him on defense then?
He's too skinny.
He might have could have got some INTs back there.
He's too
Man.
little.
It was a big improvement from last year than this year. He
Most definitely.
transferred from a soft conference to a toughest conference. I mean,
His passing game improved a lot.
yes, it did.
God Almighty.
What you got, Mr. Florida State?
Number one, he only had one touchdown against us. We had half of his interceptions. We kicked his ass.
But guess what? It's a season award, not a one-game award.
Hey, I gave you the
I get it, Doug.
I watched a little of the Missouri game. When I did, Jaden Daniels was having to be picked up off the grass.
That's almost every
He's
game.
he's
He ran for over
average at
1,000
best.
yards.
Average at best. Michael Penix Jr. should have won the Heisman.
No,
Ooh wee.
No way.
no, how?
Mm.
So
Absolutely.
I'll chip in
Sorry.
on that because you guys know I was a Penix fan all year long. I predicted him to go, but when Jaden Daniels had that game when he had 5-6 touchdowns in that game,
Was that the Army
You
game where he
guys-
scored 60?
but
Wow, great,
my
great
my point
statistics
is
there, bud.
when you put the numbers up like he did, it's really easy for him to clinch the Heisman like he did. I mean, we all knew it after that game; it was over. Penix
Kenny,
could
don't
have done
talk
all
about
he
easy
could.
games. We had a lot tougher schedule in Florida State. Look at the
Hey,
strength of schedule.
I will say
Did y'all lose
I
any?
don't I don't have so much of a problem with the
Daniels didn't.
Heisman as I do with the Doak Walker Award. The Doak Walker Award was
Woo!
given to the wrong running
That's
back
right.
in the country. That's where my problem is.
Didn't
Hey, that's
Ollie
my
Gordon? Did
problem
Ollie
too.
Gordon get that?
Yes, he did. I don't know how he
Yeah,
got it over Cody Schrader.
He should have
Here's
got
my
it. He
problem.
should have got that cracker from Missouri. Should have got it.
Here's
yes,
my
sir.
Yeah.
problem with the award was the Fred Bolitnikoff Award, where Marvin Harrison Jr. won by one vote over a much better receiver with better numbers, Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
John,
Yeah.
Johnny Wilson wasn't up for the, or Keon Coleman wasn't up for that award.
Mm-mm.
But Marvin Harrison Jr.'s daddy is real famous, So there you go. You
It's
get the
all
award.
popularity. Yeah, it's who they want. It doesn't matter what we want.
Well,
Not
most of the
anymore.
year, Neighbors and Luther Burden, and then the other guy for LSU was the top receivers there for a while.
Brian Thomas Jr. led the nation in touchdown catches.
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors led the nation in receiving yards.
Yeah.
And he got all that in the Army game
He got a lot of them.
when Jaden
Uh,
Daniels sewed up the Heisman.
That's the
uh,
Army Golden Knights, ain't it, Josh?
The golden night.
Gold.
As
All right,
as
guys.
Macho Man would say, a golden night.
The Golden Knight. It's our
Ooh,
bowl special.
yeah.
We're going to start off with 9 bowl games. The first 9 on the schedule. As we all know, there is a buku of bowl games now. And the first one on our schedule is Georgia Southern, who comes in at 6-6 against Ohio. They're at 9-3. Wow, this ought to be a whopper, guys. Georgia State is actually favored by 3.5. Over and under is 48.5. I'm going to take Ohio with the win. What you got, Johnny?
I agree with you, Mark. I think Ohio's going to win. I really don't know about the over and under. I mean, like the show say, take the over on that one. Ohio plus 3.5.
Go ahead, Kenny.
I'm the same. I got Ohio plus 3.5. Georgia Southern, their last 4 have been outscored 168 to 111. So obviously, they know how to let the other team fight zone. So I think that trend continues. I'll take Ohio in the 3.5.
What you got, JB?
Well, if you look back at our regular season standings, you'll see why I finished first, Doug finished second, and you guys finished third and fourth. Okay, you're picking the wrong goddamn team here. Okay, Georgia
Beat,
Southern's going to win this
he
ball
beat me
game,
to it.
and they're going to cover, and it is going to go over. It's going to be a 31-28 game, but I'm sorry, 31-24 game. I'm sorry, and Georgia Southern will cover. It's not the Wildcats or anything. It's just a simple old Bobcat. So we ain't worried about Ohio Bobcats. Georgia Southern with the dub.
Regular season champ starting out 0-1 out the gate.
Yeah, he beat me to it. You beat me to it, Josh, because that's exactly what I got. This is one of them. Georgia Southern is 6-6. The Ohio Bobcats are 9-3, but Georgia Southern's favored by 3.5. What does Vegas know that we don't know? Well, I can tell you what I know, and Vegas probably knows, is that Ohio has lost almost all their offense to the transfer portal. They're gone. They're not playing. Georgia Southern will win. They will cover. They've lost 4 of their last 5. Ohio's won 4 of their last 5, but that don't matter because it's a whole new game with a new team. Myrtle Beach Bowl goes to Georgia Southern. They'll cover, and the score will go under. I'm gonna disagree with Josh on the score.
Ooh, hey,
All right, so that gives us 2 for Georgia Southern and 3 for Ohio. So next bowl game up is the Cricket Celebration Bowl. I wonder if Cool and the gang will be at there, man, having a celebration. It's between Howard, who is 6-5, Florida A&M is 11-1. This is a pick'em game. The leaders passing wise for Howard is Williams. He has 2,158 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 4 INTs. Musa for Florida A&M. He has 2604 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, and 7 picks. Rushing wise, Hunter for Howard has 602 yards, 8 touchdowns. And Florida A&M's Jennings has 606 yards and 8 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Hawthorne has 504 yards, 5 touchdowns for Howard. A&M and U, Florida A&M and U, Riley has 31 receptions, 621 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Howard's last 5 games, a win, a loss, a win, and a win. So Howard winning 4 of their last 5. Florida A&M winning their last 5. So this should be a classic matchup, guys. I tell you what, I like Florida A&M. They're 11-1 for a reason. I'm going to go with Florida A&M on the pick'em.
Mark, again, I agree with you too. I pick them too. They're going to win. And I don't know what the over and under. I guess they don't have one. I didn't see it on ESPN.
Nah, it's just a pick'em.
Yeah, I picked Florida. Same pick.
Go ahead, Kenny.
Well, first, I think it's ironic that two HBCU schools are playing in the Cricket Bowl. I think that's a little ironic. Uh,
Not going to hear crickets because them bands can play.
Man.
yeah, that ain't really where I was going with that, but we'll keep on rolling. I'm gonna take Florida. Their only loss to South Florida by 14. Like you said, Mark, winners of their last 5. Obviously, a very good team. They did beat Prime's former school very easily, so I'm gonna go with that. Well,
Well, if I'm the Iowa Hawkeyes, I'm down there scouting the game because both quarterbacks scored more touchdowns than Iowa Hawkeyes offense did all year. So, with that being said, I'm actually going to agree with you guys. I'm taking Florida A&M. From what Kenny said, their one loss being to South Florida, which is a good football team. So that shows that they can compete, and I absolutely agree. I got Florida A&M.
because hey, wait a minute, isn't the South Florida team? That's the team that got Jaden Milroe big, right?
What?
Didn't South Florida? That's the team that benched Jaden Milroe for Alabama, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
South Florida's a juggernaut, so I'm definitely taking
Yeah.
Florida A&M.
Looks like we're going to have a community lock here on this one. This is the de facto, like I said, HBCU national championship. The SWAC against the MEAC. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Florida A&M too. I think they're gonna take this game handily.
Yep.
So Florida A&M is going to win the old Cricket Bowl. That game is played in Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. So
Lots of cricket.
Atlanta is going to hear
Be a lot of
a
cricket.
lot, a lot of band noise.
I'll be there this weekend too.
All right, next one on the schedule is the
Not at the
New
game.
Orleans Bowl. New Orleans Bowl. That one, of course, is at the Superdome. It'll feature 8-4 Jacksonville State against Louisiana, who is 6-6 on the year. Louisiana's leaders are Chris at quarterback, 1,222 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 INTs. Jacksonville State Webb has 1,281 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 6 INTs. So not good numbers there. Rushing wise, Jackson for Jacksonville State has 860 yards, 7 touchdowns. Cabote has 129 carries, 729 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Jacksonville State, Carter is the leader. He has 34 receptions, 603 yards, 3 touchdowns. Louisiana's reception leader is Bernard, has 37 catches on the year, 473 yards, and 1 touchdown. The matchup predictor has Jacksonville State 53.2%. The Raging Cajuns 46.8%. Last 5 games, Jacksonville State losing to New Mexico State 20-17, beating Louisiana Tech 56-17, losing to South Carolina 38-28, beating FIU 41-16, beating Western Kentucky 20-17, Louisiana's last five beat ULM 52 to 21, losing to a very tough Troy team 31 to 24, and then losing again to Southern Miss in overtime in a thriller 34 to 31, and they lost to the Arkansas State Red Wolves out of Jonesboro, just about an hour from my house, 37 to 17, and they beat South Alabama, the Jaguars, 33 to 20. So those are your looks at Jacksonville State and Louisiana. With that being said, I'm going with JB's lucky pick that one week where he went with Jacksonville State, thought it was Jackson State. So I'm going to pick Jacksonville State for the win.
Oh, I'm sorry, Raging Cajuns. I can't pick you on this game. I'm sorry. I
Can't
know
pick
you're
your
gonna laugh your head.
homeboys.
No, I can't pick my homeboys, but cause man, I don't know what's going on with them. They're nothing like LSU, but hey, I'm gonna go with Jacksonville State -3, and the over and under. I'm gonna go under on that 59.5.
Mm.
Go ahead, Kenny.
I'm gonna take Jacksonville State as well. 4 losses by 31 points, and I'm gonna take the over.
Hmm. So even though even though I got the name wrong, it just goes to show, even when I'm wrong, I'm always right. So
Woo!
remember that. All
Shit
right,
is
man.
getting deep.
All right.
Glad
So
I'm in Memphis.
uh, I'm just gonna tell you, Jacksonville State. The one team that really stands out is that New Mexico State game. If you remember who New Mexico State beat, okay, which was it was the SEC team, and they Jacksonville State hung with them. Also, keep in mind too, this is Jacksonville State's first bowl game, so they're going to go into this thing very hyped, very prepared, and ready to play ball. So I think Jacksonville State is going to win, cover, and I agree. I'm going to take the over.
Not so fast now, Josh.
There we
Woo!
go.
Oh, here we go.
It's just in Louisiana's backyard here in New Orleans. Now they're going to have the crowd. They're veterans of this bowl game right here. They've won 5 of their last 6 appearances in the New Orleans Bowl. Did you know that?
They're
Yeah.
going to have a capacity crowd of 1,500.
This
That's
is
right.
In the
hey,
Superdome.
they
Yeah,
say
that's
More
tickets
right.
are
people in a
available
Hayes
for
High football
thirty-two
game.
dollars each. That's no kidding. I just looked that up earlier.
How
But
much?
with all that being said, I'm going to have to go with Jacksonville State -3. We got another community loss. I'm sorry, I'd like to go against y'all, but I already had my pick set out here, and I got
Yeah.
Jacksonville State winning this game, and the under 59.5.
You trying to get that second place then?
It's a Sun Belt
Hmm.
versus Conference USA. Buddy, I'm going for first place this time.
Hey, they're gonna be partying down there. It's gonna be a big party down there.
Hmm.
Oh, yeah. Always is in New Orleans.
Yes, sir.
New Orleans.
The Big Easy.
Hmm.
All right, next one on our schedule is the Avocados Mexico Cure Bowl. Miami, Ohio, 11-2, taking on App State, who is 8-5. Appalachian State is favored by 6.5. Over and under is 44.5. Now, here's a little Mizzou connection. As Blaine Gabbert's brother is the quarterback of Miami, Ohio, St. Louis native. He has 1,634 yards, 14 touchdowns, and 5 INTs. Aguilera is the quarterback for App State. He has over 3,500 yards, so he's had a great year. 33 touchdowns, 9 INTs. Rushing wise, Amos leads the way for Miami, Ohio. 895 yards, 12 touchdowns. Noel for App State has 173 carries, 834 yards, 5 touchdowns. Matchup predictor has Miami of Ohio 47.5%, App State 52.5. Miami, Ohio's last 5. They beat Toledo 23-14, Ball State 17-15, Buffalo 23-10, Akron 19-0, Ohio 30-16. App State's last five, they lost a heartbreaker to Troy 49-23. They beat that team Georgia Southern 55-27, and they beat an undefeated James Madison team 26-23 in overtime. And what a game that was! They
At
beat
James
Georgia
Madison.
State 42-14, and they beat We Are Marshall 31-19. Guys, I cannot go against Miami of Ohio. Oh, they got my man Gabbard at quarterback, the Mizzou guy. There's the reason I'm picking Miami, Ohio. That is the only reason I got, guys. So there's my pick.
Yeah, same here, man. Miami, Ohio's gonna win. Like Doug say, Vegas got the wrong team favorite, and I'm gonna go over on that game, 44 and a half.
Take the over. I'll take the over. What you got, Corley?
It's hard to go against the school that created or that produced the greatest rapist in NFL history, Ben Roethlisberger. But you never bet against App State, so I'm gonna take App State, and I'm taking the over.
Well, after this game is over, Miami, Ohio is going to wish they had Blaine Gabbert at quarterback because if you're there, he ain't going to do it for him. I'm going to tell you that right now. The one thing I always like about Appalachian State is ever since they got on the map, all they care about every year is putting together good seasons, getting to a bowl, and competing every year. They ain't worried about anything else. They ain't worried about standings, nothing like that. They're going to go into this game. They're going to win by almost two touchdowns, I think, cover, and they're going to go over. They App State's going to put up at least 34 points on Miami, Ohio. Miami, Ohio is going to score less than 20.
Hey, they might realize that Gabbert's a Mizzou boy and still be bad about Eli coming to Mizzou, too. They might take that out.
Well, Josh, I got you on this one. Here's one I get on you because you just picked wrong on this one. And
You can listen to those two knuckleheads. That's why.
Johnny there beat me to
That's
it,
the
but
reason he's in first place.
Vegas, you got the wrong team favored. App State minus 6.5, and I'll take them points. I'll take Miami's going to win it straight up. Mid American versus Sun Belt. Miami Red Hawks. This is a fan favorite. The Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl in Orlando, beautiful Orlando, Florida. Yeah, Miami, Ohio is going to go down there. They're going to Disney World, and they're going to win a football game while they're there.
See, Kenny, it's not that I beat them in the regular season. It's that they just lost. Okay, that's all it is. I let them make the mistakes. That's all it is.
I was impressed that you beat these guys, but after listening to their picks, I mean, it's like you're picking on the Special Olympics. I mean, what are you doing?
Special Olympics. Whoa!
These helmet
Low
wearing
blow, guys. Low blow.
It's
All
all
right, we'll
good.
see. We'll see where we
Hey,
stand next week.
hey, just text me next week, Josh, and thank me because Doug followed me.
Hey, but keep in mind, remember, I will use that excuse that I said I was going to finish last in bowl season. So if it doesn't work out, I already got that card.
Hey,
Well,
Doug. You
hey,
speaking of Disney World? You were down there a few weeks ago, weren't you?
About a week and a half ago.
Hmm.
Yeah. You should have stayed there. You could have partied with your team there.
Well, we're going to Atlanta. We're going to the HBCU Atlanta this weekend.
Doug going to be stepping.
Yeah, I'm gonna be listening to all that good band music playing.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
All
y'all
right,
know if
guys.
he wins this week, we won't hear the end of it.
Oh yeah, we got to listen to him for
Fucking
three,
2 weeks,
three,
three
four,
weeks,
another month,
month.
Man, fuck yeah.
Hey,
and then we hit basketball. So
I
we're
told
stuck with
y'all in the Army
we're
Navy
stuck with
days.
Doug all year long now.
Told you.
Hey, next one is the New Mexico Bowl. Kind of a home game as New Mexico State 10-4 takes on Fresno State, who is 8-4. New Mexico State favorite by 3.5. Over and under is 51.5. Let me get these stats pulled up here, guys. I know I'm going to go with Jerry Kill and the New Mexico State team because I like Jerry Kill as a coach, and he does a good job everywhere he's been. Pava is the leader there with 2,915 yards, 26 touchdowns on the year, 8 INTs. Fresno State Keene has 2,596 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 9 INTs. Rushing wise is also Pava. He is 856 yards on the ground, 6 touchdowns. Sherrod for Fresno State has 876 yards and 9 touchdowns. Brady is the leading receiver for New Mexico State. He has 613 yards and 4 TDs. Brooks for Fresno State has 55 catches, 711 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Matchup predictor: New Mexico State 45.8. Fresno State 54.2, so kind of close. Last 5, New Mexico State lost to Liberty 49-35. They beat Jacksonville State 20-17, and the big win at Auburn on November the 18th, 31-10. They beat Western Kentucky 38-29. They beat Middle Tennessee State 13-7. Fresno State's last 5, they lost to San Diego State 33-18. UNM 25-17. They lost to San Jose State 42-18. They beat Boise State 37-30, and they beat Barry Odom's Running Rebels 31-25. I've already said my pick of New Mexico State. So what you got, John?
Same thing. New Mexico State. I think it's going to be a pretty good win for them. Uh, they upset a SEC team this year, and I think they're going to win their bowl game. I think it's going to go over that 51.5 too.
What you got, Corley?
I'm gonna take New Mexico State. They beat one of the typical mediocre SEC teams on their own field for 1.8 million.
Here we go.
Fresno State's on a 3-game skid. I mean, just I'm gonna take New Mexico State, and I'm gonna take the over because I think New Mexico State puts 40 up by themselves.
Yeah, I agree with that. Against the spread, Mexico State is 10-1 in their last 11 games, and whereas with Fresno State, they're 1-7 in their last
By
eight
the way,
games against the
those are
spread.
some
So
degenerate statistics right there.
hey, that's just I'm telling you right now. My point is, this is your lock of the week, folks. Right
Okay.
now, if you want to put some money on this game, this is when you want to put some money on. You're gonna cash out. You can thank me later. Okay, New Mexico State is going to win this. They're going to cover it, and it is going to go over. Because, like Ken said, I agree. I think they're going to put at least 40 up themselves on Fresno State.
Well, another fan favorite here, the Asieta New Mexico Bowl in Albuquerque. Yeah, New Mexico State basically a home game coming down from Las Cruces. Um, I don't see how they're 3.5 point favorites, but yet your predictor you read had Fresno State 54 point something percent chance to win.
Yeah.
That's kind of odd there, but in the all-time meetings, I found out that Fresno State is 18-1 against New Mexico State, with their only loss coming in 2011. So that's a a pretty good history. 18-1 Fresno State is. But with that being said, we're gonna have another community lock because I got to go with New Mexico State as well.
Yeah, because old Pat Hill ain't coaching Fresno State no more. They've got the
No way.
Cars or Trent Dilfer.
And I think in Fresno State minus their coach for health reasons or something.
I have not heard that one.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
I think I heard that. I don't hold me to it, but yeah, I'm going New Mexico State community lock.
Community
Right.
lock.
Hey, Mark. I don't know if y'all see that comment. Hey, Pablo, the guy works with me. He's on my crew. Pablo, take that bet and go to the bank. Listen to Josh.
The lock of the week, baby.
And
All right.
if you lose, hey, I'm sorry.
Blame Johnny for telling you to listen.
That's right.
Yeah.
He
Listen
say
to
he
your
going.
boss.
I think Pablo said he gonna punch you out at work if he loses some money.
Remember, I'm still boss.
That's it. Still boss. Hey, next one is the L.A. Bowl. That is in Inglewood, California.
Always up to no
It's
good.
up in the SoFi. Is UCLA 7-5 take on Boise State at 8-5. UCLA favored by 4. Over and under is 49.5. Leaders for these two teams. UCLA has more. I believe he is in the transfer portal, so he will not be playing. He has 1,610 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 9 INTs. Green, passing wise for the Broncos, has 1,752 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 9 INTs. Rushing wise, still for UCLA is the leader, 847 yards, 6 touchdowns. Jenny is the leader for the Broncos of Boise State, 1,262 yards and 14 touchdowns. Receiving wise, Lola leads the way for the Bruins, 58 receptions on the year, 650 yards and 5 touchdowns. McAllister for Boise State, 47 receptions, 873 yards, 5 touchdowns. Matchup predictor: UCLA 58.2, Boise State 41.8. UCLA's last 5 lost to Cal 33-7, beat USC 38-20, lost to Arizona State 17-7, lost to Arizona 27-10, and they beat Dion's Colorado Buffaloes 28-16.
We
Boise
coming.
State's last 5 beat UNLV 44-20, beat the Air Force Academy 27-19, beat Utah State 45-10, beat the University of New Mexico 42-14, and they beat Fresno State or lost to Fresno State 37-30. So I don't believe that Moore is going to be a quarterback for UCLA, and UCLA has really struggled in their last 5, losing 3 of those. And when you lose to a Arizona State team, that cannot be good, guys. So with that being said, I'm going to take Boise State.
All right, same here, man. Boise State. Uh, the over and under, I think it's going to go over that 49 and a half. That's my pick.
There you go, Johnny. Pablo said he's got a parlay he's coming with.
Blame Johnny if it's wrong.
What you got, Kenny D?
I'm gonna take Boise State. UCLA got too many bad losses. Like you said, Mark, quarterbacks out. They're the two twins that play on defense. They're both out. Boise State, they rallied at the end of the year to get the new head coach hired, get the interim label off. So they're playing some really good football. So I'm gonna take Boise State, but I'm gonna take the under because I just don't think UCLA can score.
There you go.
Well, UCLA, this is their last hoorah before they go to the Big Ten and they come over to my country. And as I said earlier this year, I wasn't happy with the Big Ten play, and it's very bland football this year. So this is going to be a very boring game. But I can tell you right now, Doug is going to be with me on this. I don't care if the quarterback's out, if the whole fucking defense is out. UCLA still has athletes. They're going to show up, they're going to play, and they're going to win this football game. They are going to cover, but
Zach,
I do agree it's going to be under.
exactly what I was fixing to say. UCLA. I'm serious. I've got it
You
wrote
just
down here.
changed your mind just 2 seconds
Hey,
ago.
this is the Starco Brands LA Bowl hosted by Gronk. So the winning team got to get drunk as a skunk and act stupid, like Gronk. Gronk's going to be out there leading the pack. But anyway, UCLA has too many athletes. I don't care. Neither team has their starting quarterback playing. but Boise
Oh,
State doesn't have theirs playing either. Uh, UCLA will find a way to control this game, and they will win it, and they will cover the 4 points. The score, though, will stay under 49.5.
So with all those athletes out there in California, they can't beat Arizona State.
Arizona State could beat
Look
them.
here, did you hear that? I heard crickets, Kenny.
Now, hey,
Yeah,
I
I
was,
hear
gonna,
it.
I was waiting to
That's
see
gonna
who it
look
was.
that bowl game's gonna sound
Well,
like.
I'm not saying UCLA is good. I'm just saying they're better than Boise State, and they're going to beat Boise State.
All
Bingo.
right. We shall see come Saturday. That
hey,
game is a
Pablo, stay away from that game.
Yeah, Pablo, don't
No,
please
yeah,
don't.
Pablo. Yeah, no way.
Pablo Escobar.
Yeah, no
Well,
mind.
That's right.
Johnny, I don't think I think you and Mark have picked the same every game.
We have. We have. We have. We got together.
Uh, that's
Yeah.
good. Then y'all
Well,
gonna
you
come
yeah,
in
you'll be
first,
tied for
second,
third.
Hey, we got Kenny in here now, so we
Proud
got to
of you,
open up a
ladies.
spot for us.
Yeah.
We got to put him in last place no matter what he gets. Now,
Yeah,
hey,
Kenny,
and
Kenny gonna walk away from this tonight. He's gonna say, "At least I'm gonna finish third." I know that.
hey, and Doug keeps score for us, Kenny, so you know he's automatically in
Oh, yeah.
first.
I got it all wrote down right here.
You should
I'm gonna have
put
to
me
add.
behind Josh where I can agree with him.
I'm gonna have to have add Kenny to our little group there so he can get a feel of this shit.
Hey,
All
just
right,
remember,
guys.
I do finance and numbers all day long. You ain't pistol whipping my ass.
Next game is the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl in Shreveport, down there in Johnny's neck of the woods, California. Golden Bears at 6-6 against the Texas Tech Red Raiders, who are also 6-6. Texas Tech favored by 3. Over and under is 58.5. Hey guys, since we're talking about Texas Tech, longtime coach Mike Leach passed away a year ago, and he was a hell of a coach, man. So I know it's a sad anniversary to be talking about, but I love some Coach Leach, man. And he went on to Mississippi State where my kid went. So you know, our condolences still to those two teams and families out there. Mike Leach is definitely missed, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, leaders for the Cal Bears. Mendoza, 1,447 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 7 INTs. Morton for Texas Tech. He has 1,498 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 7 picks. Ott is the leading rusher for the Cal Golden Bears. 1,260 yards, 11 touchdowns. Brooke has 1,443 yards and 9 touchdowns for the Red Raiders. Cal's leading receiver is Hunter. He has 58 receptions, 669 yards, 7 touchdowns. Texas Tech University White has 34 catches, 495 yards, and only 1 touchdown. So, matchup predictor, Cal, 40.8%. Texas Tech, 59.2%. California's last 5, beating UCLA. Looky there, guys. That right there tells you how many athletes UCLA's got. They lost to Cal. They lost to Cal 33-7. No, they actually beat. They actually beat UCLA. Excuse me, 33-7.
You have visions of freaking the Statue of Liberty play in your head.
Woo! I tell you what, too much crown here tonight. Maybe I don't know. Stanford, they beat them 27-15. Beat Washington State 42-39. They lost to Oregon 63-19. That's an ass whooping there. USC, they lost 50-49 in a nail biter. Texas Tech, they lost to the Longhorns 57-7. Beat the Central Florida team 24-23 in a good one. They beat Kansas 16-13. Beat TCU 35-28, and they lost to BYU 27-14. Guys, I don't like the dysfunctional Pac-12 down to Pac-2, so I'm going to go with Texas Tech and Redlanders and hope they sling the football everywhere. Let's go, Texas Tech.
Bless you.
Oh, Mark. Uh, I agree with you and I disagree with you. Uh,
So that's an easy pick.
I disagree with Shreveport. They say down here if you're above I-10, you're from Arkansas. You're below I-10, you're a coon ass. And Shreveport is way closer to Arkansas. But I'm gonna say Texas 12. I think either. I don't know who to pick on this one. I think anybody can win on this game. They both
Well, there's
six
not a
six.
column for anybody. You got to pick somebody.
I know, buddy. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with the Texas Tech, and let's go under on that 57 and a half.
Is it my turn now? Shall I fell asleep?
Mm-mm.
Oh shit!
Damn.
First of all, the girlfriend's a Texas fan, so I couldn't take Texas Tech if I wanted to. Uh, but the 50-point ass whooping to Texas is embarrassing. With a 1 point loss to USC. Uh, Cal's obviously playing a little bit better ball at the end of the season. I'm like you, I really could care less, but I'm gonna take Cal.
Right.
I'm taking Cal.
Dysfunctional Pac 12.
Pack
Hey,
two.
Pac
It
2.
is Pac 2.
Whereas Doug would like to say, they got the wrong team picked. Cal's going to win this game. There's not much really can add to it. It's going to be another boring game. It's going to be under. It's going to be a 28-21 type game or whatever. So I'll take Cal with the points, but they're going to win outright anyway.
Yeah. Pair of 6 and 16, Big 12, Pac 12, Independence Bowl. It's real exciting. but
Hear your voice, Dougie.
with all that being said, I'm going to say guns up, baby. Texas
Ooh.
Tech. Here's another one I get
I
to
thought
catch
you
up on
take
you on there,
that.
Josh. Guns up. Texas Tech Red Raiders, baby. Under 50. Mark said 58 and a half. I had 57 too, Johnny. But
Here, hold on. Here, let me go ahead.
it's going to be under either way, 57 or 58 and a half. So,
Good.
Texas Tech in the under is your bet, folks.
It's gonna be a three-way tie this week.
Mm,
Last,
mm.
me and King gonna be up there first and second.
That's right.
That's right.
I doubt that.
Hey, don't worry, Doug keeps score. It'll be just like the committee did Florida State. I'll find a way to be on the outside looking in. I'm sure.
Doug find a way to be number one no matter what.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a recount somewhere.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
gonna throw that flag
Had to
in.
throw a couple red flags during the year.
The challenge flag he has thrown already. All right, next one is the good old Pop Tart Bowl. That is going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Western Kentucky at 7-5, facing that old country group, Old Dominion, who is 6-6 on the year. ODU is favored by 2.5. Over and under is 55.5. The Hilltoppers out of Western Kentucky, leader passing wise is Reed, who has 3,340 yards, 31 touchdowns, and 11 picks. Wilson is the quarterback for ODU. He has over 2,000 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 7 INTs. Young is the leading running back for the Hilltoppers, 460 yards and 3 touchdowns. Callaway on the other side has 594 yards and 4 touchdowns. Leading receivers, Kenny Corley's brother out of Western Kentucky, has 75 receptions, 958 yards, and 11 touchdowns. Murphy for ODU has 27 receptions, 495 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Matchup predictor, the Hilltoppers out of Western Kentucky, Bowling Green, 60.2%. Old Dominion, 39.8%. Western Kentucky's last 5, they beat FIU 41-28, SHSU 28-23, lost to New Mexico State 38-29, beat UTEP 21-13, lost to Liberty 42-29. Old Dominion's last five beat Georgia State 25-24, and then they beat Georgia Southern 20-17, lost to Liberty 38-10, lost to Coastal Carolina 28-4, 28-24, lost a close one to James Madison, who we all know had one heck of a year. Lost that one 30-27, guys. Well, this is a really I don't give a shit who wins this one. I'm gonna go with Old Dominion, ODU,
The Monarch.
the Monarchs.
I'm gonna go with Kentucky on this one.
Oh, what?
Whoa, wait,
What?
wait.
Oh,
Hey,
Yeah,
say it louder for the people in
we
the back. What's that?
I go for that Kentucky team.
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
They finally
You,
differed.
you know,
We
Mark.
we
You,
didn't talk about we didn't talk about this
Hey,
game
I
before.
originally had Western
We
Kentucky wrote down.
Oh, Mark, you
we
hey,
got
just
him
hey,
missed
on
this
that.
game. We
that's
didn't
what
talk
it
about
is.
this game.
That's what it is. Mark just texted Johnny and said, "Don't be picking the same one on this one."
Yeah, that's what I was reading. No, I was looking at Pablo's parlay picks. But oh my god, he's gonna be pissed off at me. Uh, yeah, Kentucky. I'm gonna go over on that game.
I'm taking Western Kentucky. You can't. First of all, I can't pick against family. Malachi is having a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's a great athlete.
Oh, Malachi
Oh,
Corley.
Malachi. I had to look that up, by the way, when I saw it. I'm like, who's this fucker's first name? And it's Malachi. It couldn't have been Mike. Malachi. Uh,
Hey, we got a Malachi on our team here tonight.
yeah, you ain't related to him, are you?
No.
I might be. There's a difference. Uh, Western Kentucky, but I'm gonna take the under because ODU's offense is god awful.
Hmm. So if ODU can control the line of scrimmage and run the ball, they could pull off the win here. But the thing is, you got to keep Western Kentucky off the field because their quarterback is pretty decent. He's going to air it out. So, with that being said, I'm taking Western Kentucky. I think Western Kentucky can win by at least 10 points. Uh, but I'll take the under on that because it's going to be close to the line, but not getting there. So I'll take the under.
What to say? The famous Toastery Bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Pop
This
Tart.
this was
Hot
the
top.
farmer. This was the farmer Bahamas Bowl. You know, congratulations, y'all don't get to go to the Bahamas, kids. We're going to Charlotte, North Carolina, playing the Pop Tart Bowl.
Yeah, the old
I think
popcorn.
I heard where the winning team gets to eat a big, gigantic. They got to take a bite out. They're doing all kinds of gimmicks with some of these bowl games now. Uh, like the Mayo Bowl we'll talk about later. You know, they're dumping mayonnaise on the winning coach instead of Gatorade and stuff. But anyway, you got Sun Belt versus Conference USA West. This is another one where your matchup predictor has Western Kentucky quite a bit more favored, but Vegas has Old Dominion. If I'm seeing this right there, minus 2.5, right?
Hmm.
You're right.
Yeah. Well, Vegas, you got the wrong team favored. Caesar
Well,
Sportsbook, feel free to call on me anytime you want to because you're favoring some of the wrong teams here. Western Kentucky will win this game, and the score will go under 55.5.
I agree. And that Mayo Bowl, by the way, is sponsored by Peter North. So it's not really mayo that's going to be poured on the coach. Just FYI. Viewer discretion advised.
Oh,
Hey,
mercy.
hey. Speaking of sponsors, Josh, who do we got tonight sponsoring our show?
Oh, yeah, man. We got Badger Seal. Badger Seal. I scream, you scream. We all scream for vagina cream. Badger Seal. So when that scent lingers, just go ahead and get some cream on those fingers.
Thank you, Vagisil, for joining our sponsor list. Hey, we also got Manly's Meat Wagon with nobody beats our meat but us. We got Edwards Freight out there. What's that
Send it
number for
down.
Edwards Freight there,
That
Dougie?
is 573-922-0002. You call, I haul.
Any more sponsors out there tonight?
I'll bring one next week.
Kenny Corley is going to jump on the sponsor board. He's probably going to get Malachi NIL deal, and we'll have that. Hey, we'll have that signing right here next week on I'll Take the Over podcast. Malachi Corley getting his NIL deal.
He's gonna stay one more year at Western Kentucky to collect his money.
There you go. All right, guys, we are down to the. Is it the last bowl? Yes, it is.
Yeah, the
Wow.
popcorn fart bowl.
The old popcorn fart bowl. I believe it is actually called. What is it
Coffee.
called?
Coffee
Scooter's
bowl?
Coffee Frisco Bowl.
Scooter's Coffee Frisco Bowl. That is
Frisco,
correct.
Texas.
And that is in Frisco, Texas, where the Road Runners, beep beep, Texas San Antonio are 8-4, will take on the Marshall Thundering Herd, who is 6-6 on the year. San Antonio is favored by 13. Over and under is 52 and a half. The Roadrunners, of course, been a good program last couple of years. Harris is the leader in passing, 2,506 yards, 18 touchdowns, 8 INTs. Francher is the quarterback from Marshall. He has 2,162 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 11 INTs. Barnes is the leading rusher for the Roadrunners. He must not run too quick because he only has 698 yards and 6 touchdowns. Ali, watch it, down goes Frazier from Marshall, has 1,043 yards and 14 touchdowns. Cephas for the Roadrunners of San Antonio has 82 catches, 1,449 yards, 9 touchdowns, and then Harris, 24 receptions, 396 for the Herd. Matchup predictor: Roadrunners from Texas San Antonio, 67.7%. The Thundering Herd from Marshall, 32.3%. Last 5, UTSA lost to Tulane 29-16, beat South Florida 49-21, beat Rice 34-14, beat North Texas 37-29, and beat East Carolina University 41-27. Marshall's last 5, they beat Arkansas State 35-21. They lost to South Alabama 28-0. They beat Georgia Southern 38-33. They lost to App State 31-19 and lost to Coastal Carolina 34-16. With that being said, I've always loved the Roadrunner. So that I'm going to take UTSA in this one.
Hey y'all, Mark just texted me. He said pick the same team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the same pick, man.
A lot of points.
Beat. And
Beep, beep. Beep, beep.
beat. Let's go beat over that 52 and a half too.
Well, unless Chad Pennington and Randy Moss are walking through the door, Marshall really doesn't have much of a chance.
You got that right.
They're going down like that plane did, 70 whatever.
Damn.
UTSA.
Oh, man.
Man, that hit hard.
I don't give a shit. UTSA wins easily. They'll cover the over as well. That's a no brainer. But I have noticed a trend, Mark, when you're reading the last 5 for every bowl game. For you guys that picked Georgia Southern, y'all want to retract that because every one of these teams seem to have beat them.
So who
Asking
picked
for a
the,
friend.
Hey, that's a fact. That's a lot of points, man. That's a big spread. 66% to 33% or whatever it is. That's wild. But folks, I'm gonna tell you what. This is gonna be your first upset of the bowl season. It's gonna happen. Write it down. I don't give a shit. If you're betting, take the points with Marshall because it is gonna happen. But I am telling you, Marshall's gonna end up winning this fucking ball game. I'm taking Marshall.
Thundering
Dang,
Herd.
Pablo, I don't know what to say about that.
Pablo, don't go to the window.
Pablo, I hope you'll be able to eat this weekend
Yeah.
after you listen to some of these picks.
Oh yeah,
Pablo,
oh yeah.
take the points, Pablo.
Pick the points, Pablo.
Hey
Get that,
Johnny, he gonna
get that
need to
per
come
diem,
over
get
for
that per diem
supper.
check you
I'm
get.
gonna start a GoFundMe for Pablo.
Go fund me for Pablo.
Oh Lord.
What you got, Douglas?
Well, we got the AAC going against the Sun Belt here. Uh, this is the fourth straight bowl game for Texas San Antonio, them Roadrunners. It's the seventh straight for Marshall Thundering Herd. 13's a lot of points. I think Marshall's going to keep it close enough to cover that. So I think you'll be all right there, Pablo, if you take Marshall in the points. But now San Antonio's Josh is wrong. San Antonio is not going to win this. Not or Marshall is not going to win this outright. San Antonio is going to win, but they won't cover. The score 52 and a half. It'll go over. If you want to bet I hate the over unders, but if I
Yeah.
got to pick it, I'm going to say it goes over. But I'll take San Antonio to win, Marshall to stay within the 13.
All right. Okay.
You know the Thundering Herd cannot catch a Roadrunner, man.
They
Well,
don't
you
have to. They just got to stay 12 back.
That's true, ain't it?
12 pack.
That is true in the betting world.
got to stay within 12.
All right, guys, that's going to conclude the picks for the week. We'd like to thank all our sponsors out there and our special guest who has signed on with us throughout the bowl season, Mr. Kenny Corley.
Thank you, guys.
So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the Boot Hill Sports Network. We got other things, a lot of high school action on the channel as well. And any other words, guys?
I like to have a parting word here. I just want to say I don't want any of y'all or anybody out there to treat me any differently when I become a millionaire, because I want to let you know that ESPN is running the bowl challenge. If you pick every bowl game correctly, all 30, what is it, 42 bowls, I think, 40 something, low 40s. If you can pick them all right, you win $1 million. And I plan on doing that. So y'all don't treat me any different when I become a millionaire, okay? I'm
Well,
Well,
still
I,
gonna be the same. I'm still
Based
gonna
on
be
your
the
picks
same old
tonight,
guy.
don't start typing up your 2 week notice.
yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say, I can tell you about 2 or 3 tonight you got wrong, Doug. So,
That's why. That's what I
Hey
was gonna
Doug,
say.
you know
Start
that
tonight.
20
Don't you
you owe
start
me?
typing up that notice.
It's worth a shot. Go on ESPN.com, fill it out. Can't
yeah.
hurt nothing. They don't cost you anything.
Mark, one thing and I definitely want in on your college basketball, but boy, they hate Penny Hardaway. But that's okay. We'll save that for the next conversation. But they hate.
I love some Penny Hardaway Bear. I got his jersey hanging up in my man cave.
And
Well,
from you.
the NCAA hates Penny, but
We'll
he just
get
keeps
into
winning.
that. We'll get into that with basketball. Oh, Penny.
That's
I
right.
got
Won't
you.
be
Doug.
long.
Hey,
Little Penny.
Doug, do not start typing up your 2 week notice. You need to stay at work just a little bit longer.
I think I'll run down tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey, I was listening to Ramsey a while ago, the financial guru. He had a caller that called in. This guy had won $20 million, right? And he hasn't told anybody. He told his wife, of course, but he has 2 teenager kids that he hadn't even told, and his rest of his family, and said he's gonna keep it that way because he didn't want his kids to grow up and be waiters, and he said like waiting for me to die. That was funny, man, and pretty smart because he said that way I don't have nobody beating at the door, so nobody really knows that he's a millionaire.
They
He
gonna
said
know
he had a.
They gonna know I am. I guarantee.
We know you can't keep your mouth shut, probably.
Can't hide money.
Hey, I guess the good thing is he'll fly us all out to Vegas to watch LSU's opener next year.
There we go.
There we
I'm
go.
Yeah.
trying to get y'all to come out anyway. I got you a free place to stay.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they going to figure out real quick that he got all that money when they asked why is mom and dad going in the bedroom so much lately. Why daddy smiling so much.
There you go. All right, guys, man, I appreciate it. We will see you next Wednesday night at 8:30 for I'll Take the Over podcast right here on the Boot Hill Snort Network. All right, guys, we'll catch you later.
See y'all
Go
later.
Tigers, go Heels.